Maryland.
Okay, look, I feel like I'm the only one trapped in the States, Lord. Oh, I'm getting out. I'm getting out, I promise.
So you're
Like, I'm
out to
diligently working on it right now.
It's true.
Where are you heading to?
I thought you were going to tell me you had migrated to the States. I was like, oh, okay, where do you come from?
No, I'm a Mississippi native, but I moved to Atlanta right after undergrad. And as you guys know, Atlanta is the black mecca of the States. And I was going to move to LA, funny thing, but all arrows pointed to Atlanta. And seeing people like you, that like business owners, attorneys, doctors, science, it set the bar so high that I felt like if I do move to LA or New York or even DC, it would be a lateral move. So I'm on my way. Frederica, what do you say people call you? Amira. So I'm actually on my way to Johannesburg. I brought my 30th birthday in. I wanted to bring it in on African soil, so we went to Cape Town and Joburg and had a really good time, and I just really fell in love with the continent. And I feel like Joburg is synonymous to Atlanta as Cape Town is synonymous to LA. Like, as far as like the vibe, the culture, because I had a good time in Cape Town, but I feel like it was kind of like, I didn't see a lot of black affluent people in high places, but in Joburg, I saw that. I was like, am I in LA? So, yeah.
Hey, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we are absolutely excited for you to join us on Expat Living Abroad Summit, where we'll be deep diving and talking into different realities of moving, living, and investing abroad.
That's Queen Key. That's my handle, and I am relocated in Merida, Mexico, and I just am a recent expat. So I've been in Merida less than a month. And so basically most of my talk today would probably be about the journey, about how I made the decision and how it's going so far, I guess.
Lovely. Thank you so much for that. Welcome, Kenneth. As you can see, people just introducing themselves as we speak. Right on time.
Hi, what's going on, everyone? Pardon my tardiness. I'm just hanging up from a meeting. My name is Kenneth McLaurin. I currently live in Atlanta, Georgia. What's the criteria for the round robin?
Fine, yeah. So we've got people from all over the world today. They're going to be speaking their truth and some of their stories and testimonies on how they basically started their relocation service and how they moved abroad. They're going to talk about how they've experienced. We're going to be questioning them, and so that we give so much information to the people who are viewing and people who would like to know how to relocate to a different country. We've got a few more people joining in. I think we're slightly delayed. I'm going to give them another 5 minutes so we can continue with introductions as well.
Cool. So since I joined late, where is everyone tuning in from?
Yep.
South Africa.
Okay, what part? Like Joburg or Cape Town or?
I'm outside of Joburg.
Okay, awesome.
I'm here in Merida, Mexico.
Okay, what part? Like
Merida.
Okay, Merida. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm actually currently in the same place, Merida.
Sorry, go on.
Where are y'all located at?
We are in Merida, Mexico as well. So there's quite a bit of Mexican representation today. Yeah. Talk about them. So Frederica Kenneth is in South Africa. I know that's somewhere you would love to go. She's been living there for quite some time.
I've been I lived in different parts of Africa.
Yeah, you have. You have lived in Tanzania and Ghana?
I lived in Ghana. I tried in Rwanda.
Yeah.
I've even tried in Tanzania. I didn't like them.
Okay.
Grow hard about what you want to be. Step 4. Everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up.
Today we're joined by some incredible expats who have navigated the journey of relocating to new countries. From choosing the right destination to settling in and investing in real estate, they'll be sharing their first-hand experiences, lessons learned, and practical tips. International real estate investment has skyrocketed in recent years, especially in locations with strong expat and digital nomad communities.
Yeah, today we'll be highlighting the most promising destinations and the essential tips to make your relocation process a success. This session is all about empowering you and with the right knowledge to make you informed decisions. By the end of today, we hope you'll have a clearer picture of where, how, and why you should relocate internationally. So let's get right to it. We're going to talk to Lakeisha. You are our lovely guest today. Please start with your amazing story. You drove all the way from the US of A to Mexico. And so tell us about what inspired you to move abroad. How did you choose your current country of residence, please?
Oh, hi everyone. My name is Lakeisha Martin. Everybody just calls me Queen. It's just my middle name. Basically, I did drive all the way from the United States to Mexico. Basically, I've always had a dream of traveling the world. I am a retired over-the-road truck driver of over 30 years. So I've driven truck throughout all 48 states as well as Canada and Mexico. The most inspiration move for the move was that, I'm going into retirement and I wanted to be able to see the world the way I saw the United States. And what prompted me to make the move so suddenly, well, I wouldn't say suddenly, but it was more like I wasn't feeling the political climate at the time. So I felt like about 2 years ago that the political climate was shifting in my home country and I didn't like the direction it was going. So I started investigating places that I had to have where I've worked that I could go and that I could drive. The choice was between Canada and Mexico because I could drive to either. And it didn't matter how long the drive was because I'm used to driving over the roads. I'm a truck driver. Yeah. And so I did my research for 2 years. I settled on Mexico instead of Canada for two main reasons. One, it's cold in Canada.
Very cold.
It's cold in Canada, and also that the cost of living is a little bit higher than the US, whereas it's warmer in Mexico and the cost of living is lower. So I decided to gravitate towards Mexico. How I chose Merida was based on the fact that I live in the United States. I live in Jacksonville, Florida. So if you're looking at an actual map, so I think I did show the map on my post of my drive, which was 43 hours, driving time only. Mm-hmm. And if you draw a line from Merida directly up, you will hit Florida. Yeah. So it was basically the climate was the same, the weather was the same kind of creatures like the geckos and everything. So it was pretty much the same as Florida here in Merida. I grew up in the suburbs. I was born and raised in New Jersey, actually, but I was born on the farm, so in the suburban area. So when I visited different places like Tijuana or Mexico City, they were a little bit too much like, I would equate Mexico City to like Center City, New York, to whereas I would Merida is more like the outskirts of Philadelphia, which is where I grew up. Mm-hmm. So the choice between was kind of easy. It took me 2 years to plan. I did plan for 2 years. I did a lot of research deciding where I wanted to go, how I could drive, and everything like that. If I had to think about the pros and cons of it all, I think the pros and cons of it all was like the most challenges that I have now that I'm here in Merida is the language barrier. But I'm taking Spanish lessons. Me and my Spanglish, we've been doing pretty good with my Spanglish. But I did come with like AI translators, and I had the earbuds. I hated them all. Hated it. I hated them all. They all broke. And so then I was like baptism by fire in the store. Like, I just need the bathroom. Like, I know the word baño. Mm-hmm. Then I had to learn, where is. Donde es? And I found, and I just put it together, and I find the locals here in Merida, if they see you trying, they will help you. They try to help you. They're like, yeah, girl, you got to get it together, but the bathroom's that way. Okay, so, and that's basically what I decided to do. I mean, Did you have any other specific questions about it?
I do, but I do understand when it comes to cultural language barriers. Like myself, I moved to Mexico with one word, and that was hola. So I had to learn everything from scratch. So I completely hear you. Yeah, what was the biggest cultural adjustment apart from the language you just told us, and how did you navigate it? Apart from that, is there anything else you could add on top of that?
Yes. the biggest cultural, I want to say, I wasn't really shocked, but the biggest cultural shock for me was when I found out that you couldn't flush the toilet paper here.
Yes.
I was like, say what? I'm sure they go to the bathroom. Do they even sell toilet paper there, girl? I was like, so I was a little leery about that. So I decided to, use my brain, and I had a little ingenuity. I said, well, I can't flush toilet paper. I was watching a girl on YouTube, and she was like, girl, just get it out your house, fast smells up the place, whatever, tie a bag or whatever. And I'm like, there's no way that I can do that, So I did come up with a way to get rid of the smell and everything or whatever. So what I decided to do, which I might say for my channel and not share here, is that, no, actually what I did was I bought a diaper genie.
Okay, nice. So
I just bought a diaper genie, and you put it in there, and it seals it up, and there's no smell. There's the waste is easy to empty. So I think that was one of the biggest cultural things, not realizing that you couldn't actually, and getting used to it, because every now and then I would drop it in, and I'd be like, what am I gonna do now? So I think that was the biggest cultural adjustment.
Lovely. And how easy and challenging was the process of securing a housing or residency in a new country, or any sort of residency permits? How easy?
Yeah. Well, I felt that because I had done so much research, and I had decided that I wanted to be in Merida out of everywhere, that I started connecting with groups on Facebook. So I was in different kind of expat groups, mostly expat groups, African American expat groups, that, the black set groups that were like leaving the US in droves, and everybody's going everywhere. So I got into the general group, and then when I decided on Mexico, I filtered myself over into the Mexico section. So it was a lot of people in there, a lot of realtors or people who are already on the ground here in Merida. So I got in touch with a realtor lady that was here. And I decided that, before I decided I was going to spend any money or whatever, that I was going to come to Merida and look around. So I planned my Christmas holiday, my Christmas and New Year, because I felt like I wanted to spend the New Year like he did, bringing the New Year in the country that I was going to live in. So I came in around the 22nd of December. I spent 1 week in Cancun doing the tourist stuff. Mm-hmm. And then I caught the audio bus from Cancun to Merida, and my real estate agent, she met me there. She set me up with an Airbnb, and for the week that I was here, I looked at different places and settled on a house rental, and we got all the contracts signed and everything on January the 1st, and I received my key, and I flew back home, and then I began to pack my things for the drive back.
Like a pretty seamless process, like you had.
It was a very soft landing, and I think it was a soft landing based on the fact that I did so much research and I made so many connections of people who are already here through the Facebook groups.
Lovely, that's very good to know. And what other key advice would you give someone considering relocating to a new country? What sort of advice would you give them?
Coming to here, to Merida?
Yes, or thinking about relocating in general.
The devil's in the details.
Okay.
I would definitely say the devil's in the details. When you think you've planned everything, replan it. Mm-hmm. When you think you've researched everything, research it again. Mm-hmm. Research it again and research it again. And never be afraid to reach out to someone thinking that they may think that you're bothering them to ask them for answers. Because if somebody asks me something, they're like, I didn't want to bother you, but oh no, if I have the information, then most people are willing to share it. And give yourself some grace. Like, it's not going to be like the perfect everything. I did everything perfect. I got there perfect. Everything was perfect. Everything's not going to be exactly perfect, but don't beat yourself up if everything isn't exactly the way it is. And what you do is just make a plan A, B, C, or D, because a light bulb wasn't made in a day. We had to fail 99 times to find the one thing that worked. So that's what I would say.
Perfect. Yeah, Frederica. So, what do you think inspired your move abroad, and how did you choose your current country of residence?
Well, my name is Frederica Anderson. Most people call me Amira. I retired from the United States Army about 10 years ago. I decided to move to the continent in 2019. That's when I started looking to come here. It took me about 2 years. And then I decided to leave in 2023. My whole thought of leaving the United States was to take and be financially secure. I didn't want to walk out of one set of problems, like I had a mortgage. I didn't want no mortgages. I don't want to rent. I just want it outright.
Right.
Land in the United States was very expensive. For veterans, it's not. We get a big cut, a big break when we buy, property. We'll lease property because we're not buying anything. And I wanted to be able to find land and do a homestead and, have other houses up there for my kids and family members for when they decide they need to leave out of the United States. That's when I decided to leave. So,
what would you say has been the biggest culture adjustment you've had to make, and how did you navigate it?
Prayer. Well, the biggest adjustment is what I had to get used to when I came to the continent. It wasn't mostly the people on the continent. It was the people that had came to the continent. Okay? Because when they came to the continent, a lot of people had these big expectations. You was going home, and I don't know if they was waiting for a ticker tape parade, or they was going to be at the airport with the with the tribes waiting for. I don't know what it was, but a lot of people have come to the continent. They have failed because they came for selfish reasons. I didn't come here looking for anything from anyone. I try to, people that's in the States now that are looking at Africa, I try to tell them, you have to come here with a plan in mind. I don't care what degree you have back home, okay? And if they do accept it, you won't get paid like you was getting paid back home. So you have to, how they always told us, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You have to come with a plan here. I'm trying to I'm in the process of getting myself self-sufficient, even though I'm retired, because funding coming from the United States, you don't know when that's going to come to a screeching halt. And then you're left at the mercy of these countries. Only I can tell people, coming here, you're going to get a rude awakening if you don't know how to navigate through this place correctly. Okay.
How easy or challenging would you say the process has been of like securing housing, like residency or work permits in South Africa?
Securing a work permit, a company has to offer you a job. That's one. And I'm sure when you see them wages, I'm sure you won't want it. Okay, cashiers right here make $1.27 an hour.
Wow.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so the challenges I see with housing, I stayed in the Airbnb for most of the time I was down here. This is the first rental I've had. It ends in May, and from May we go to the land to start clearing it and start to put up the houses and stuff up there. And the rents can run you like what it was before the inflation came in the States. So, yeah.
And what are some unexpected benefits and challenges of living abroad that people might not realize before making the move?
They need to really do their research on the countries they're going to. I advise everyone to go there and live about a good 3 months if you're coming here on the continent. I can't speak nowhere else. I'm saying on the continent. They have different cultures. There's different laws. Um, one of the biggest challenges I see here, which is well, it's pretty much everywhere. I can't say just here, but it's GMOs. Okay, because they're not into the knowledge of that yet. Some people do have the knowledge, but the majority of them don't have them. It's pretty much like we were in the United States in the 70s. One of the things people need to do when they go abroad to any country is to find out where their water is being sourced from, where their food is being sourced from. Is the medical there up to standards? If the medical is up to standard, do you need insurance? Okay, that plays a big part. So they need to find a way not to come into like Africa or anywhere else and be so amazed with things that's going on and not know what's going on home. Because whatever's going on home, it's going to affect you, whether it's financial, mentally, or physical. Because nobody wants to see their family left back there suffering either.
Absolutely.
But other than that, you pretty much navigate if you have the right people to navigate you through it.
Perfect. I know Kenneth is thinking about moving to South Africa really, really hardcore. So what key advice would you give Kenneth?
Kenneth?
Yeah. What key advice would you give to him on any advice like for someone like him considering relocating to your country?
Wherever he was at, I wouldn't tell him to be there. Okay.
So where now?
where you was at, like in Johannesburg, you was in what CDB, the central of Johannesburg.
Yeah, so we oh my gosh, so we stayed in Cape Town and we stayed in Sea Point or Camps Bay, but we tripped to Johannesburg and was just in the inner city. I don't remember where. One of my friends stayed in like the Rosebank area, like back in the day. That's a professor here in Atlanta. Like he stayed in like Rosebank, and he was like synonymous to like I feel like the arts district in Atlanta because I want sort of like, of course, like a different culture because I want something different, but I still want, like you said, the standard of living that I have been equipped with here in Atlanta, because I didn't even have this in Mississippi. I've never had a black physician. I've never had a black nothing, honestly. Mississippi is the blackest state in the union. People don't know that. Mississippi is the blackest state. So black people were not the culture shock, it was the caliber, and I hate to say it like that, but moving to Atlanta, it was the caliber of black people because Atlanta has the most millionaires and billionaires out of everyone. So I started looking at Dubai and South Africa, but like you said, you have to do your due diligence. So I've done extensive research over the last few months, and I've immersed myself in a whole lot of expat groups, but it's still, as you said, it's a continuous thing. But from your perspective, are there any places that you recommend, like a Melrose Arc or Rosebank, or I think there's like two other neighborhoods I thought about, and you said that GMO is a big thing there, right? So, like, I mean, what recommendations do you have for like a prospective person that's, you know?
If it's affordable, I would go in like the Rose, by being like single, I would go in like Santon, Rosebank. It's another one. I can't think of the name of it. You can come to Midrand. So I'm saying if you're gonna go in like an upscale area at night. You know, if you're gonna be out at nighttime. You know, I'm going to the rural area. So, really, I just got to take my own destiny in my own hands. You know, I shop at a place called Jackson's. They do organic. They don't have a big selection, though. I shop at a place called Impala. They have grass-fed beef. So that's why I chose to go in the mountains, you know, where I can do my own thing, you know.
So like the Melrose area and the Rosebank area, do they have like farmers market or farmers market, like where they have grass-fed beef, cage-free eggs, because that's something that's really, really big for me. Like, I have a plant-powered skincare brand because my skin is extremely sensitive. My GI system is, sensitive. That's why when I if I knew French, I would totally move to Paris. I already have friends there, like, that are natives. But to really be immersed in a culture, you have to learn their language. And I just don't have the time right now because I've launched my business, and that's how I'm gonna support myself because I'm not moving anywhere to try to find a job. I need something 100% stable here, and I don't know. Like, hearing you talk now, it makes me want to do even more in-depth research because, as I said before, clean eating and all is indicative of my lifestyle because that's who I've become now, and that's how I've gotten my allergies under control. Because a lot of, like you said, it's literal poison in your body, and we have eczema, and we have all of these illnesses, and don't know why, but it's really what we're feeding our body.
Yep.
Yeah, that's so. For my question, they don't really have like an equivalent to like as I said before, like a health food store or a farmer's market in the more affluent areas like the Melrose Arc, the Rosebank, the Santon, and stuff like that. They don't have more like.
They might. You would have to look it up, y'all. You know what I'm saying? You can contact me and I can see what they have out that way. I just know these places because they're like in Midrand and Centauria. You know, like I said, I decided to do cash crops. There's places you just have to like sort them out. Cape Town has a lot of organic stuff. A lot.
Yes. Yeah. When we were there, like it was synonymous to me eating. Like, I love France. Like, I eat all the things there and do not get no, I'm serious. And when I went to Cape Town, and it was, I think, where else I went, and I was like, oh my gosh, the food is so fresh, it's so good. And that's what I was kind of wanting in Joburg. I was like, well, I know it's two completely different, demographics, different regions, but that's something that's real. And I didn't even think about that until you said it. So thank you so much for bringing that up. It's very, very, very important because, like I said, it's a part of my lifestyle, and I have to go somewhere where the food is fresh, it's organic, so.
Yeah, they're here. It's here.
Thank you.
It's really here.
So much, actually. If you want good food, come to Mexico. We are a bit biased about that. But thank you for joining, David. I know you just joined in. David Clark is joining us all the way from East Africa in Rwanda. And I think it's like 4 a.m, I think, as well, or 5 a.m. So thank you so much for joining. Next, we'll speak to Ramses. He's going to talk about Costa Rica because he's lived there as well. He's in Mexico now, but he's going to talk about Costa Rica and how living there inspired him. So what would you say inspired you to move abroad in general, and what made you choose this particular country of residence? How would you go about it?
What inspired me, I realized that I had reached the level of healing that I could reach, still residing in that same environment that was actively creating policies. I realized that I needed to go. I was tired of living small. I was tired of making myself as small as possible just to clock in to work every day. I was tired of not being able to hold my head up. I was tired of not being able to explore my full Blackness. I was tired of living a life that other people wanted me to live. I was tired of, living in an existence that was just like survival. Like, I wasn't thriving. Although, if you look at my life, I was thriving. I had the 6-figure salary. I had a career in the surgical field. I had the house in the neighborhood. I had the car. I had the family. But I was dead and I was empty on the inside, and I did not like who I was. And it was done. Like, my ancestors did not choose to survive, so I could wake up every day feeling like I felt. With all of the beautiful resources that I had at my disposal. But I realized that pretty much everything in the United States was not made for me. that was it. The education system is not for us. The financial system is not for us. The medical system is not for us. Like, none of it is for us. And I was just tired of it. So I decided I needed to leave for my own survival. I also needed to heal. Like, a lot of us, we have been oppressed for so long. When we go to these other countries, we become the oppressors, unconsciously, sometimes consciously. And you know, I work the work that I do now. I kind of open people's minds to a broader way of thinking, a broader, you know, existence. So first and foremost, I knew I needed to heal myself, and that's why I chose Costa Rica. Because it is a living environment. You know, you have the beaches, you have the waterfalls, you have the ocean, you have the mountains, you have the fresh fruit, you have the animals, you have all of this, you have the jungle. This environment is what held me. This environment is what healed me. This environment is what helped me to reconnect with the ancestor within myself. So this is why I chose Costa Rica. You know, and you mentioned, I'm in Mexico right now.
Mm-hmm.
Mexico is another one of those places. So I have two home bases where I spend time in Mexico, I spend time in Costa Rica, and then everywhere else in between, wherever spirit calls me or work calls me. But Costa Rica, yeah, was that place. Also, you know, this beautiful brilliance, this beautiful superpower of melanin that we have. You know, we need to be tapping into that and remembering who we are before they named us. And I say they, who is they? They could be our parents, they could be society, they could be anybody, you know. So to answer your question, I chose Costa Rica for self-healing.
It's okay. This is why we speak and share the truth. What was the biggest cultural adjustment to Costa Rica, and how did you make it yourself navigate through it, basically?
Just on a basic level, the biggest cultural challenge was Spanish, the language barriers, sometimes the dietary things. I mostly eat fruits and vegetables, so that's not really a big change for me. You know, people ask me, are you a vegetarian, are you a vegan? I'm like, no, I try my best to eat sunshine, and that's like, you know, things that get their energy directly from the sun, and then I take it and ingest it, and that energy goes directly towards me. So, you know, it's like I'm becoming light, sunlight, and you know, the sun is the reason why we're here. The sun is what activates our melanin. The sun is the energy source for our entire solar system. And oftentimes we have forgotten our relationship with the sun, and we get to places and we're like, oh, it's too hot, I'm sweating. But we have forgotten where we come from. We have forgotten that our relationship with the sun. So, you know, that's another thing. The weather, the humidity. We need to give ourselves time to acclimate. We have to give ourselves time to adapt. Mostly the dietary and just getting used to the you know, Caribbean weather again.
Okay. And how easy or challenging was the process of securing housing, residency, work permits in this new country in Costa Rica?
Residency, you know, it was fairly easy. I've been traveling. I was a Navy vet, so I've been around the world a couple of times, and it was that time that opened my eyes to how the rest of the world, you know, that it opened my mind to a world of worth. You know, a world that values our contribution to like the arts and science and medicine and philosophy and architecture and mathematics and spirituality and diplomacy. Like, all of this stuff it comes from us and our legacy and our culture. So, you know, traveling has been, not that it hasn't been difficult at some points. Like, there have been some times where I was one click away from buying a plane ticket back home. You know, a lot of us don't talk about the loneliness and the isolation that we can feel sometimes. You know, it's not always a party, you know, a lot of us on social media have carefully curated images on there, and we're not talking about like the struggles that we go through. We're taking pictures with mimosas in our hands and things like that, but we're really not talking about the trauma that, you know, some of us bring more than physical baggage along with us. And I think it's really important that we acknowledge like what the hell we've been through. Otherwise we bring it with us. And we need to be able to articulate that trauma. We have to be able to name it. We have to also be able to embrace it and rewrite our narratives. Otherwise we're gonna bring a lot of that with us and be in the same kind of state of dis-ease that we were in the States. So for me, the biggest, you know, it's been a challenge, it's been a journey, but it's been well worth it because it has built a sense of accomplishment within me. You know, it reminds me that we are more than just sports and music and this, that we have a collective genius that is valued globally. And getting out of our comfort zone and traveling this world is where the real like growth and transformation occurs.
Absolutely. What sort of unexpected benefits would you say living abroad gives to people that they might not realize before making the move?
It challenges you in ways that we have never been challenged before. It's not for the meek, it's not for the mild, but if you accept this mission, we have to remember. So I teach Kemetic yoga. I teach. It's an African-based practice of yoga. So it gets us out of our comfort zone, and if we choose to accept this mission, we can realize like that there is no limits to where we can go. There is no limits to where who we can become. We can give ourselves the freedom. Like it's a chance to step into true freedom and true liberation, inherent birthright as human beings. And you know, I like to help people just step into that and help them really step into who they truly want to be in this life, because it is a beautiful life we have been given. And yeah, I'll say that.
Right, that's great. And what sort of key advice would you give someone who's looking to relocate right now and leave the country and move abroad and go to a different country altogether?
Don't wait. Be careful who you tell your good news to, because there will be those who will speak fear into your plans. There will be those who will speak their own fears, project their own fears onto you, and it's that crab in a barrel thing. I'm like, you're actually speaking from your existence. Like, it's not me. It's not me. You can do this too. Give yourself grace. Give yourself also permission to experience joy. Give yourself permission to heal. Give yourself compassion. Learn how to cultivate ways to experience self-love. I'm talking about actual love. Find ways to cultivate that for yourself. And yeah, really just research, but don't over research. Like we have everything that we need to be able to do this. Just be open to the journey. Say yes. Say yes. There are no mistakes. This is all one experience. And it's just like, what do we learn from it? I've made many wrong turns, quote unquote wrong turns, but I just learned like where I don't want to go. I learned where I don't need to be, and take note of that. And just be open to stepping outside the Black expat experience, the Black expat communities. Like, there's more to that, because that's also a box, and it will keep you trapped. It's a safety net, but it's a net nevertheless. And what do nets do? They trap, they contain, and they limit growth. And there's a big world outside of that net, and it's for us to explore. And that's where the growth is going to happen, stepping outside that comfort zone. So I wish each and every one of you Ankh Uja Seneb, that means life, prosperity, and health.
Thank you so much. And just to add on to that, I definitely agree with what you say. I think we've already been put in so many boxes as it is in society as Black people. When we socialize only among ourselves, we're also doing that to ourselves. And I believe in a world where we all live in harmony and we don't see ourselves as this avatar that we have, but as human being first, before any connotation or any markers that people have given us already in society. I think it'll be David you're going to be interviewing.
Yeah, and David here. Got a few questions for you, David. Thanks for joining us all
Thank you for being patient as well.
in Rwanda. So, question is for David. What inspired your move abroad, and how did you choose your current country of residence?
I don't know if my microphone's on.
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you fine.
Yeah.
Oh, you've got to mute now.
You're going to mute now.
To unmute. What about now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
You can hear me? Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm David from Oakland, California. I live in Rwanda. I've been here for about 5 years. And everything that the last brother was speaking about is 100% the reason why I left. And I chose Rwanda. It's the most progressive country in Africa. The cleanliness, the progression, the ease of doing business, the people, the love that we have here. It's just an incredible country. If anybody gets a chance, they should do some research on it. It's the best feeling in the world. As the other brother was just speaking, I had the resources and the six figures and all that other kind of stuff. But this is the most happiest I've ever been. I'm a human being. I'm not just a Black man anymore. I'm just a man here. And the journey is just has been incredible. You guys were speaking about NGO earlier, GMOs. I'm sorry. Here we don't have that. So I have a farm here. I have a goat farm, pig, chickens, blah blah blah. Community center. It's just an amazing place, and it's about 5 a.m. So if I'm rambling, please forgive me. And if anybody needs any information here, I know it's a brother earlier that was speaking. Look up Rwanda, man, and reach out to me. I don't know if you provide the information. You guys can all have my numbers. I've helped over 40, 50 people move here. And yeah, we have hundreds of people from the United States that have moved here already. Matter of fact, the place I'm at right now, where I'm living, I know about 20 people who bought property right across the street here from America who are planning a transition. It's just amazing. I can't say enough about it. We don't have enough time. The people in there want to help you. They're on your side. They're trying to get you to do good. They want you to grow and to. The educational system is incredible. The safety, the young lady in South Africa was talking about, you can't go out at night. You go out at night 24 hours a day here, daytime, nighttime. The single ladies walk their children. You know, we go on hikes at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at nighttime, you know. So safety is incredible. As you know, Kendrick Lamar was here. Entertainment, all the stars. They're about to have not NASCAR, whatever that other car place. I forget the name of that car. Anyway, we'll be the first country to ever have that race, whatever it is. You know what I'm talking about?
Formula One?
Formula One, thank you. Yeah, Anthony Hamilton was, the Hamilton guy was just here. So we're the first country that will be doing that. Anyway, if anybody has any questions or you need anything, please reach out to me. I'm here for it all, you know. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful life and a beautiful thing, for sure. My Costa Rican brothers and my South African lady, at least come visit. Come check it out. If you need something, I'm not hard to find. Just reach out to me.
I'm loving it. You're literally selling a wonder, like, you know.
Well, David, what would you say is the biggest culture adjustment you got to make, and how did you go about navigating it?
Man, there's no culture. Let me just tell you, man. I don't know how to express this. We don't even have words in the dictionary or in our vocabulary to express how I'm embraced here. You know, I'm a down to earth person. I know, there's cultural things, but you have to be open to their culture. This is their country. They love us. They love us. The peace is just goes beyond understanding here. So what I did, I created a community. I don't care how much money you got. If you don't create a community before you go to any country to embrace what they are doing and you know, try to suck it up. I can't speak the language, but I embrace the community. So I have a good community here. So people who I can trust and look out for. We all look out for one another. But the biggest, it's not even the language, because communication, I know people who speak English and can't communicate. So that's not even the problem. You know what I'm saying? You know,
How easy or challenging was the process of, let's say, like securing housing, residency, and work permits?
I'm staying in a crib right now because I'm building several homes. So I'm staying in this place. Let me see. I don't know if it could turn the camera around. Oh yeah. Let me see. So this place, can you guys see it?
Yeah, we can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this spot right here, and it's 7 bedrooms, and I got I have 5 bathrooms, and this is $400 a month.
Hey, that's nice.
It's very easy to secure. Like I said, they want you to succeed. Everybody sleep here, so I can't go all over the place, but they want you to succeed. It's in the building process. One of the things I'm building a huge place with fish ponds. I have a chicken farm. I have a rabbit farm. But they want you to succeed. They're very, very well organized. But for your benefit, they don't tell you to build. They're not trying to stop you from construction because they need some money. They want you to succeed to keep order. If that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but
yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Right. It's for the benefit. It's not like I'm from Oakland, California. They, it takes a year to get something done, maybe 2 years to try to get a permit or something. Here, you can get it in 1 day. You know, you want to start your business, you can start your business in 1 hour. You have your business license. You can do it online.
Oh,
wow.
You get what I'm saying? The visa process. They want you to come. You can get your visa at the airport. Then, you can work around whatever you need to do. Your investment certificate, you can get that you know, you just have to do a few things, but it's not no problem, you know, like with anything. And I take it all as an adventure. I still enjoy every moment. I still enjoy the journey, the adventure. And, you know, like I said, I've been here for about 5 years, permanently a little over 3. And it hasn't gotten old. It's just getting better and better as every day goes. And that's the honest to God's truth.
That's so beautiful to hear that, and it's very inspiring, I would say, most definitely. What are some unexpected benefits or challenges of living abroad that people might not realize before making the move?
Unexpected challenge. Man, you got to get out the United States. You've been challenged all your life. These challenges are nothing. These challenges are nothing. I'll welcome anything they got. They can't throw nothing at me out over here. I've been challenged all my life, you know, so they can't do nothing to you here that we haven't already been through. We've been through hell. That's modern day slavery over there. This here is freedom and peace and joy and love. So, I mean, you know, only challenges you're going to face is within yourself. Is getting, you know, is getting rid of all that toxicity and the mindset and all that kind of stuff. Outside of that, I don't see any challenges. The regular human challenges. That's what you're going to deal with. It's just like, if I can speak on this real quick, it's just like it's anything that you put in life. If you surround yourself with poison, you're going to be poisoned. If you surround yourself with, like the brother was talking about, sunshine, you surround yourself with sunshine, positive people, positive things, people that have the same mindset as you, that are trying to do better, trying to help the community. You're going to flourish. It's an act of nature. That's natural, how it's supposed to be. You surround yourself by negative people and thoughts and all that. That's what you're going to get. So I choose to surround myself with everything that I've been speaking about, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Kenneth, if you can hear me, you have to come out here, brother. I know you're exploring. I'm trying to tell you, man. I can't. I don't know. If you just come and visit, you're gonna be like, oh man, I've been missing this. Let me just tell you something. I had boats, traveled the world, snow ski, water ski, traveled the world 5-6 times. This is the happiest I've ever been. You get what I'm telling you?
Yeah.
Everybody who comes and visits so far, they have either bought a plot of land or have transitioned here. I just had a couple. In November, they came to visit. They were here for 2 weeks. They went back, sold all their stuff. So everything that they had, they came, moved here last month, and they just bought a piece of land on the lake. They're building 2 homes. They're rocking and rolling. You get what I'm saying? That's the effect of this place. You get what I'm saying? So I just thought I'd share that quick testimony, but I have a whole bunch of them.
What key advice would you give to someone that's considering relocating to Rwanda, David?
Man, don't overthink. Just roll. You know, don't overthink it. Just come, man. Life is an adventure. Don't be scared of getting in your own way. Just come on with it, man. You know, I don't know about advice, but I know that we're only here on this earth for a little bit, and it's not worth living in prison. You know, you have to come adventure out, and this is the most progressive country in Africa. So why wouldn't you just come? You know, it's a beautiful thing. Come visit, and after you come visit, start making your plans. Sell your stuff, give it away. You can get all of that here, and for much cheaper. And you know, the taxes you have to pay for it to come into the country, transportation is definitely not worth it. So that's just a quick little piece of advice. Other than that, I would just say, come on with it. Come visit.
I think I think you've sold everyone on that. I did want to introduce as well Ernestine. She's joining us as a guest today, just listening in.
Yes, my name is Ernestine, and I live in Washington State. And I'm very interested in moving around and going places, and I've heard a lot about Rwanda and some other places in Africa that I would like to visit. And so, nice meeting you all.
Lovely. Nice to meet you too as well. Thank you all so much. I'm going to ask the floor for any questions from anybody, so please feel free to ask. We're going to mute us.
Okay.
I have a question, in a sense. So I know I got a wealth of information from Virginia. I think hearing her advice and her perspective now has me like I still love Joburg in South Africa at large, but I just want to make the most informed decision, and I know everything is not going to be perfect, but I do want to do my due diligence, which is why I'm just gonna, because vacationing somewhere and living somewhere is going to two completely different things. So that's why I'm gonna go to Joburg for about a month or so, just really get a feel of the neighborhoods, visit some med spas. As I said before, I have a plant-based skincare brand, so I'm looking to expand business out there. So I don't know though. Like I think Frederica made me be very introspective in a sense. So my question to you guys is, and please anyone feel to chime in, what other, I think Lottie, we spoke of this, I think I had like 3 countries that I was like very much interested in. Of course, South Africa being one, Panama, and I forgot the other one, but I ideally would, as I said before, I have to live in an environment where people of color, more specifically Black people, are thriving, because Atlanta has spoiled me. Like it has, and I'm not going anywhere else where Black people are not the majority. I'm just not. And because I love this, I love to see Black people in high places. So my question to you is, what other Black-friendly countries do you guys recommend, as opposed to the one that I have I've given options to?
Where, in South Africa?
Well, just in general, hearing you talk about food, and food, as I said before, food is a big thing for me, and it's not just a certain cuisine, but I need grass-fed beef, cage-free eggs. Like I just, health is wealth, and I'm like wearing the shirt now from a Black designer here in Atlanta, but it's just like stuff like that, and I never thought about that from the Joburg perspective, because I spent the majority of my time in Cape Town, and I said, and as you vouched, the food is very clean. Yeah. And you eat well, you don't gain weight, and you don't have those food allergies, So now I'm just trying to sift through, and I thought about Thailand as well, but I don't know now. I thought I was gonna, I had the intention of coming to the summit to gain more insight about Joburg, and now I feel like I'm not second guessing it, but it's kind of, I don't know now. So
I don't want anyone to be as scared of the continent. That's one thing I can say. Of all the countries I've been in on the continent. But if you look at it, America has spoiled us rotten.
Oh yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
We're used to convenience. If you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and you got a headache, you can run to CVS. We are the biggest consumers. Half of us that are females can't even sew a shirt. If we had to make a shirt, we couldn't even make it, let alone plant something. We have to learn how to be self-sustainable now, what's going on in the world. Okay? Because if you don't, you're going to succumb to it. So if you're coming to the continent, I don't care if it's Ghana, Rwanda, Tanzania, South Africa, you got to have a plan in place. You got to take care of you. You got to. There's no running in places and grabbing a pizza. Mm-mm. It's not. But on the other hand, if you have a product, that's the one thing a lot of them don't understand about is the chemicals. So if you're coming with a clean item, that product you want to sell or trying to get it into the market, this is the place to do it at. So don't let it fear you. It's just that you have to make a plan when you come here. You know, I like being around people that look like me. You know, so it's on you. But it's not a bad place. The one thing I can say that here you can own land with your deed in your hand. I bought 37 and a half acres and I paid less than $6,000 for it. Virgin land. I couldn't do it in Rwanda because they're asking for American prices. I couldn't do it in Tanzania because the government owns that land there, and you won't own anything without one of the Tanzanians on the lease with you. I've had people that went to Kenya. They're there no longer. So it's a network of us. It's a network of people here. You know, but just don't take people's word for it when they tell you about a certain place. If they don't tell you the bads about it, don't listen to just the goods. That I've learned. Okay? Because we as a people on this continent, we bring baggage with us.
True.
Okay? And a lot of them, when they bring the baggage with them and they get into these different areas, they don't know how to deal with the people and the baggage they have brought. And I notice they drag other ones down with each other. You know?
And how long have you been in Joburg, if you don't mind me asking?
I've been down here almost, I've been here a year.
And then you traveled back, well, I know you said you went back to the States. So do you have residency? Do you have residency in South Africa?
Yeah.
Or?
I have a retirement visa here.
So I'm so sorry to ask, keep asking questions.
No, you can ask what you want. It doesn't bother me.
I know that you said that, and just like I spoke with Lottie, you know, Panama was, I haven't visited yet, but I have a group of friends who are avid travelers, so we travel all around the world. And because of last year, me launching my skincare brand, I was like, look, I have to put my head down, be on my grind. If you want something you've never had, you got to do something you've never done. So just very diligent with that. So one of my homegirls came back and she said, Kenneth, I can totally see you over there. It's so nice. We just didn't do touristy stuff, but we did, a lot of local stuff as well. So you talked about about your regards being diverted, right? I grew up, what is the word? Sheltered in a sense, right? Because your parents shelter you from things that are going on in the world. I'm fixated on building generational wealth and breaking generational curses. So that's where my primary focus is. So that's why I want I want to make the right informed decision on which country I want to transition to. And that's why I've asked all the questions, just to get a feel of your perspective, especially with you being there, having been there for a year.
Thank you. Oh my goodness, that's been I think everybody's feeling very much informed today. Kenneth, I hope it answers you most of the questions, if not all, and you feel much more prepared, I feel. It's not an easy task for anyone to move abroad to any other new country because there's a lot of challenges, as we know, but all of benefits as well. And I think the key thing is to prepare. Preparation is really key. We do hope that hearing all this real life experiences from all our experts today gave you the knowledge and confidence to make informed decisions. Is there anything else anybody wants to add Feel free. I mean,
I think Miss Ernestine for being I think me and Miss Ernestine are the only two left here, but Miss Ernestine, we gotta go. The Joburg.
Goodbye.
The Joburg. Oh, you
all
want
of
to?
my Rindia people.
Okay.
I know the other guy left, but you guys, we gotta meet up in real life.
yes, please.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes,
Queen,
Thank you all.
Queen, I sent you my number.
yes, please.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, let me get it before it goes away. The chat.
Okay.
Miss Ernestine, where are you? You're on the West Coast, right?
Yes, I'm in Washington State.
In Washington State. Okay.
Yes. Yes, I'm in the Seattle area.
Well, we are we're only an hour different.
Yeah.
Here in Merida.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know whether you were 2 hours away Central Time. I live across the country.
Yeah.
I've lived in New York and New
Yeah, we're on the
Jersey,
East Coast, I think.
Yes. It's a
We're
3-hour
on
time
We're on
change.
Central Time, so we would be the same as like Alabama or Dallas,
Mississippi.
Like,
Okay.
And I'm Eastern, so I'm in Atlanta, Miss Ernestine. I think you came on later, but yes, ma'am, I'm 3 hours ahead of you.
Yes.
I stay here
So
really long, you guys. I
Frederica,
miss my meditation hour.
But Frederica,
I miss
where
my
are you?
sleep hours.
So Frederica, where are you?
I'm in South Africa, ma'am. Right now it is 6:01 in the morning.
Nice.
Okay. All right. And
You guys
how
stay
do
up
you
really late.
wait?
I like it.
We are in Merida, Mexico. We're in the same place as Lakeisha.
That's good. Merida, yes. I am.
So yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure, guys. Oh my goodness, I am so filled with information. I felt like I knew everything up until today, but everybody has really like warmed us up and also shared the emotional side and everything. I feel like very how do I say, chapped. In the UK, we get chapped, like really like emotional about it, but at the same time, so happy that we're going to be sharing this with masses and informing people on how to relocate. Because I think like my biggest motto, I keep on telling people, we're not trees, we have legs, we need to move. You know, if we were meant not to move, we would not be given legs, we'll be like trees.
Thank you guys so much, Lottie and Wyn, for creating a safe haven for prospective, Black people that want to move abroad, and for Frederica, Queen Key, and all of the rest of you guys that were just so forthcoming with the information. I love the fact that we're not gatekeeping anymore. Like, we're really helping it, because that's what's really going to propel our culture as a whole. So thank you so much for this, and thank you so much, you two ladies, for the wealth of information. I really appreciate. I feel like I'm at it kind of. I don't know now. Like, I'm just like, oh my gosh, just a lot of stuff I got to think about. But no,
research.
Yeah, no, I needed it. So thank you guys so much for having this space. It's very important. So thank you.
Be more.
Please reach out.
Thank
If
you.
he needs to reach out, he knows where I'm at.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But
Stay tuned, and thank you again.
I thank you for everything. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Good evening, wherever you are. Good morning as well.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Okay, bye-bye.